Well, you join us at the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, where hundreds of business and political leaders are consumed by the world's pressing problems. And that includes the uncertain future of the countries in North Africa and the Middle East, as we've just been seeing in Mali and with the terror attacks in Algeria. Joining me, Ahmet Davutoglu, who's Turkey's foreign minister of a country which is a secular democracy with a booming economy that bridges Asia and Europe, a nation actively promoting a newly assertive regional and global influence. Navi Pillay is UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, born in South Africa. She was the first non-white woman in South Africa's High Court, as well as being a judge on the International Criminal Court. From Egypt, Amr Moussa, Foreign Minister in President Mubarak's government, then Secretary General of the Arab League for 10 years. He stood as an independent presidential candidate, coming fifth behind President Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood. Tom Friedman, foreign affairs analyst and columnist for the New York Times, who writes extensively about the Middle East. He warned a decade ago of how the effects of individual empowerment and globalization would challenge traditional leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, our World Debate panel. Now, we've invited our global audience to raise questions via Facebook and Twitter. I also want to hear from some of the Davos audience as well. Can I just get a sense, those of you who believe that democracy is winning on balance in that region, your hands, please. And those who don't think it is. I would say more people think that democracy is winning. Amr Moussa, you've just been a presidential candidate. Do you believe democracy is winning in your country, Egypt?
I believe it is going to win. So far, my answer would be yes, but the President Morsi, is in his office due to elections and democratic process.
Ahmet Davutoglu, your view from Turkey?
Yes, democracy is winning because it is a historical process. Of course, history will judge in the future. For we asked two questions when Abu Azizi burned himself in Tunisia and later in Egypt, the Tahrir movement started. Are these demands rightful? We said yes. Second, which direction should be on the right side of the history? I think it is a historical necessity because it is not only democracy winning, it is a historical necessity. In 1990s, Cold War has ended in Europe, but now Cold War is ending in our region, in Middle East, after almost 2 decades. It will end.
Navi Pillay. So we've got two saying yes and yes, but. What's your view? Is democracy winning?
Well, my view is that democracy will not fail in North Africa and the Middle East because these were areas that came out of decades of dictatorship. And when there is such a fundamental change, there will never be a situation where dictatorship that reigned before will prevail again.
Tom Friedman, a very different Middle East from where you were a younger journalist, certainly in Beirut and Jerusalem.
Well, I would echo Amr's point that yes, but I'm hopeful. But I think we have to remember democracy is always about two things. It's about self-determination, the right to vote in a free and fair election. And democracy is about liberty. That is the institutions that protect individual rights, independent judiciaries, free press, free and fair commerce. And those are yet to take hold. But I always remind myself, we in America declared our independence from Great Britain in 1776. It took us till 1788 to get our Constitution. So these transitions were inevitable, but the outcome is not inevitable either, that we will have not just self-determination, that is elections, not just the hardware of democracy, but that we'll also get the software of democracy, which is liberty and the institutions that guarantee individual rights.
All right, not everyone is on side here, but most people think that something's moving in the right direction, at least 2 years on. Let's get someone from the audience who was in Tahrir Square, Mohammed Al-Dashan from Egypt. Is democracy winning?
Thank you. Well, when we ask about democracy, it is elections, but it also most importantly, accountability. Unfortunately, this is lacking very much in Egypt and other countries. The government, up to the president and above, lack accountability. The opposition is faring no better, more interested in infighting than in listening to the people who brought them there in the first place.